Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Bobby, aka Pabloon, and today we are looking at a ship that recently came out in the shipyard, and a ship that when I reviewed it back in the day, when this thing first came out, I did not give it good, reviews, and the other CCs agreed with me, so I was quite surprised to see this thing perform absolutely amazing when I tried to play it here. I think they've shadow buffed it, but I don't have any proof of that. So you're just gonna have to look at my stats, because I think my stats tell me that this thing has gotten a buff. It certainly feels like that. I have 10 battles in IWAMI and 101,000 average damage. And today we're going to be taking a look at some of these games and the best parts of those games. So IWAMI here is one of the 4 or 3 tier 9 Japanese battleships we have gotten, premium ones. There's Dyson, there's the IWAMI, there's the Heisen. And IWAMI is mostly focused on secondary brawling. This thing actually gets some pretty cool secondaries. 155s are not bad. 5% fire chance. They do have a 9-second reload, but you can get, you get a base of 8 km normal range, and it's 20%, so that would be 10 km range with your main secondary guns. And then we have autos, of course, so it is like a brawling Japanese battleship. You also get 4, 6 10mm torpedoes on either side of the ship, and they're mounted in the rear, so you really want to be kiting with this thing. 10.8 kilometers torpedo range, really good. And yeah, precise aim as well as secondary overload. And along with that, I found out when I got the ship in the shipyard that apparently I have a camo for it. That was quite a pleasant surprise. So we are running with a koi camo that is secondary focused. So the stats, my secondary stats might be different from yours, because if you don't have this camo, you won't be getting these buffs here. Here's the unique camo. It gives you main battery shell dispersion, and to be honest, these 410mm guns are not bad at all. They have a pretty solid reload. 8 of them. It's, 4 less than the Heisen, but it's still really decent. I also had a level 12 commander laying around on my Shinonome, the tier 6 destroyer, and I respect them for this ship, so I've been playing this with a max level commander. This is my build, and yeah, enough blabbering. Let's just get right into it, guys. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the new Philippines port. Yes, I did pay 6,000 gold for it, because I actually do enjoy ports, and I think this one's really pretty. I just... The light here is a little bit crazy, so if we take it from this side, it looks really nice. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, this was my first game on my main account with this ship. I haven't played it, obviously, on my press account, so I know what it likes to do and what your goal is with the IWAMI. And your goal is to, the way I see it, be a sniper in the beginning, because you do have really decent guns. We're going to take a shot at the Sow here. And preserve your HP for that late game or mid game brawl that you actually can do really good in, because the combination of your awesome Japanese torpedoes plus these 155mm is actually really good damage. You deal with destroyers quite well, but the problem is with your whole brawling setup, and also if you were to, for example, torp a destroyer, you need to show full broadside if you're not kiting away. If you're not sailing away from the ship you're trying to torpedo, it's going to be very hard for you to get torps off without showing broadside, and that's probably the biggest weakness. It's like that with a lot of Japanese ships, but yeah, it's also the case here with the IWAMI. We get a pretty nice salvo into that Sow, and here you can definitely see that these are 410mm. They just don't punch as hard as, 457s or, yeah, what every other battleship almost has nowadays. But you see how we're trying to, angle away from this Sovietsky Soyuz. We can definitely deal with damage to him. I'm not worried about that, but I am kind of worried of the armor on IWAMI at this point. We will take a ton of damage here. It does not like taking damage. It is more akin to a battle cruiser than anything else, I would say. You do have a pretty big ship, slow ship. Well, it's not slow. It's a pretty fast, battleship. Nothing to say there, but yeah, you're not a battle cruiser, so if you're expecting St. Vincent levels of maneuverability, no, you're not. You're not going to get that. But it's solid all-around gun platform with this little niche of having secondaries, and that's really where I got all my damage. We do get a Citadel here on the Soyuz, but nothing special. One thing I will say, though, this is a very hard ship to play. I would urge you guys, if you have bought this, to go watch Soulfire's video about this ship. He puts it pretty well. That, you know, this is a difficult ship to play, but if you do master the skill of playing IWAMI, it's a very powerful package. And I mean, for me personally, this is the type of battleship I'm really good at. The brawling battleships, the fast, stealthy ones that, you know, go out with a bang, glass cannons, if you will. And this is definitely one of those. I feel like, for me personally, I fit right into this, but I would definitely agree that this is something you need to rethink your battleship strategy, and you need to play this, you know, pretty high intensity. You can see here, we need to turn both sides to get our torps off. This Mecklenburg will win in a brawl versus us, even with one side of torps, because he's just that healthy and tanky. He's also got torpedoes himself, and, you know, we will lose this brawl, but this is why it's a, you know, a ship that needs a certain amount of skill to be played, because you need to be able to do these maneuvers and this positioning to put yourself in the, you know, the right place to get this type of damage. And we do manage to get, I think it's 124 we end up on, which is pretty good. But I will say this, man, it's definitely a fun ship, and I think they must have buffed it quite a lot, because I have a, you know, like I said, 101k average damage, is one of my best average damage ships. Granted, it's only 10 games. I was just playing this to get the XP bonus from the battle honors, but I found myself to really enjoy this. So I would urge you guys, if you like playing BBs, especially having something a little bit the different flavor of the month, then IWAMI is not a bad pick, man. And it definitely isn't a bad ship either. Some of the biggest mistakes you can do in this ship is, I would say the biggest mistake, is to push in too early. You have pretty decent concealment when you run concealment mod, and that makes you, or so that gives you the ability to kind of pick and choose when you want to fight. Normally battleships don't really have that much, you know, sorry, they don't have that concealment, so they're going to be spotted quite quickly. As soon as the destroyers are pushing into caps or into the middle of the map, the DDs will spot all enemy battleships. You can sit with your BBs and just hang around. You're not going to get spotted immediately, and that's going to give you a chance to take a shot at, you know, for example, in this game, the Richelieu out there. Now, you could look at my concealment right now. Actually, the Richelieu won't be able to spot me if there was nothing else. Now, the DD is detecting us, that Jutland, so not gonna work, but yeah. So, another thing, another mistake I would imagine a lot of people could make playing this ship is when you're in a brawl, to not angle. Thinking that as soon as you get into that, you know, closing the distance with your overload, you can get your torpedoes off, you can get your autos going, your manual secondaries going, and it's just going to be an easy kill. It probably won't be, to be honest. And if you're fighting another battleship, you should really angle, because although it doesn't do much in Blitz, you just want to, you know, minimize your silhouette, because the bigger your ship is, or the easier it is for them to hit your citadel, which won't be that hard, I imagine. The faster you die. You have 55,000 HP. That is not high for a battleship. Although arguably it's not that low either. But, you know, just keep in mind, guys, that you want to be fighting for your life. We are going to be brawling in this clip here, in the end of this clip. That's why I included it. And I must say, if you get it into tier 8, bro, that is something else. It's fun in tier 8. Because 410 millimeters is the highest caliber you can have, I think. There's probably something higher, maybe Borodino. No, Borodino is like... Oh, Musashi is the highest at tier 9 and 8. But obviously, if you get into a tier 8 fight and you're the only Japanese tier 9 battleship, then definitely you have the biggest caliber of guns. And with a 19.40 second reload, you can actually do quite a bit of damage quickly. This Vanguard here, you can see we open up with all we have, auto secondaries going. We shoot our main guns, shoot our secondary or 155s, and look at the damage. I mean, it just ticks up so fast. We got the Lepanto coming in behind us, and this is what I mean with angling. You can see I'm already trying to angle, actually, because either one of those guys, if they get a good salvo in on me, I will suffer for it, for sure. Now, luckily, this guy will get, you know, wrecked by these Le Terrible Torps, so we can continue on and then just look at the Lepanto. There we go. When you're coming up in a head-on chicken situation like we could here with this Lepanto, I can't remember quite how he's looking at me, or if he's broadside, or if he's... Yeah, he is broadside to us, but if you are going in a head-on with a person, just try to angle your ship as sharply as possible, and you know, wait until you drive by them or pass by them to launch your torpedoes. And then as soon as you pass each other, you can turn your ship to the other side and send the other torpedoes off. That's the good thing about them being rear mounted, is if you get into brawls, as soon as you disengage, you can get your other set of torps off, which is nice. Alright, now notice my HP. We were at 37,000, we just lost 10k. That is because I'm full broadside to this Richelieu. He could definitely do big damage to me. So I'm gonna minimize the angle I can give to either one of them, and this is how we do that. We just go straight in between them. Richelieu goes down, torpedoes into the Lepanto here, and I mean he's pretty much done at this point. This is where your speed and agility, well, somewhat agility, you don't have much, but you do have a little bit, comes into play. And it really does feel fun when you get there. So another 103,000, pretty fun game here in Tier 8. This next one here is a almost full bot game, guys, and I just wanted to include the last part of it here. Look guys, look at the teams. There's 6 battleships on each team and a CV on each team. This is like the ultimate high damage farmer game. Now, I didn't get the highest damage, but I still thought I would include this, since I think this is just a rare game to get into. Only battleships, guys, and pretty much just bots. I think there were 2 enemy players on the other team. We just killed the Amagi in a beautiful rear turret, best turret shot. Here comes the Kansas, and he's not gonna die outright, but you can just see, in conjunction with the secondaries, the long-range torpedoes that we will use on the Shokaku here in a second. It's a good combination, man, and it's a really good price for this ship. I believe it was 15 titanium, 10 steel. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's a little bit a long time ago since I bought this, but yeah, guys, I've been moving and stuff, so I haven't really been on the game. So we'll try again here with the torpedoes on Shokaku. He's just gonna sit there. We missed the Bismarck, but look at that. That's a Vittorio Veneto all the way out there on its own. So it's a ship that gives you a lot of opportunities, a lot of flexibility, a lot of, you know, choice and options, which I think is one of the best things about battleships, when they can find that niche, or not niche, or that, you know, perfection where it can fit almost any role, but it doesn't perfect it, you know. IWAMI isn't going to be the best sniper, even though it has precise aim. It's still a good sniper, don't get me wrong, but you get what I'm saying. IWAMI ain't going to be the best tanker. It's not going to be the most stealthy or the fastest battleship, and it's not going to have the best brawling capabilities. It has some really strong brawling capabilities. Keep in mind, 155s, auto secondaries, and the amazing torpedoes, plus your main guns. It's not like it's lacking, but it doesn't excel in any of them. But somehow, with all these things combined, it just works out to be a nice package. I know a lot of people would think this thing was bad, but I have to say, man, I was kind of blown away. It's really weird how they shadow buff a lot of stuff. So, you know, maybe I should go revisit some other ships, guys. Give me a you know, some ideas of other ships that, because I can't remember, but other premium ships I reviewed once they came out and gave them a bad rep. Maybe we should go and check them out to see if they have been buffed, because honestly, I think this definitely could be. There could be more than just the IWAMI here. Now, this final clip here I have for you guys is a clip where we have the Alsace and the FDG pushing on the widest flank. We're playing with Dayan here. Salam alaikum, my man. And yeah, he's sitting out in his Luchuan on the other flank. We are not going to win this game, but this clip I included because I have 2 battleships pushing me, so we can kite away and use our secondaries and our torpedoes. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to get into our kiting position. We have fired 1 set of torpedoes, and we're kind of just hoping that they get close enough that it's going to be easy to just cycle between them. IWAMI's torpedoes have a 10.80 kilometer range, guys. That is quite a long range for battleship torps, and honestly, that's probably what makes this ship playable into tier 10 as well, is if you're getting pushed, you can actually deal with them. Like if GK or Preußen is pushing you, it's not the end of the world. For example, it's Schlieffen as well. If he's pushing into you, just send a ton of torps and run away. You do have the speed. So we got the FDG coming up here. We're going to send our 410mm away. Waiting for our torpedoes to get ready here. We get a pretty decent salvo, I would say. I mean, most of the time I found that when I hit something, I either got a full pen or an over pen. Or half pen, you know. Either full pen damage or half pen damage. And sometimes citadels. it wasn't, you know, I would write home about these guns, but I definitely have nothing bad to say about them either. And I think that's the best takeaway, honestly. You can see the range here on our manual secondaries, man. It ain't bad at all. It's gonna be pretty darn good. So torpedoes are coming in here, and we are gonna hit all 4 plus a flood. I don't remember if he's got a DCP, but you can just see the damage ticking up. He did have his DCP, but it's fine. We're gonna be, guys, like I said, maneuver. Try to minimize your silhouette, make it hard for the enemy to hit you, because you can see we only have 20k left. And if you remember that Richelieu, who just, you know, snagged 10k away from us in a one salvo, you do not want to be broadside in this. You can see what I'm trying to do again here. I'm turning away from the FDG salvo. Boom, right there. We dodged 3. It's better to dodge 3 than get hit by 6, you know? So we're going to keep trying to do this. Just make it as hard as possible for these 2 battleships to do what they're trying to do. And I'm hoping to line up my shot here on the FDG, but I also have to be super careful I don't overextend it. I think he takes a torp. Yeah, he does. And then the salvo will kill him. So there we go. 80,000 damage. And I was trying to get my CV to help here, but I think he was preoccupied with something else, which, you know, if you look at the status of the game, it's a 3v2, and one of our ships is a CV. So it's basically a 2v... Sorry, 3v2, what am I saying? A 3v5. So it's basically a 3v5, 2v5. And there we go. Seattle goes down. Nice try, man. Nice try. We're going to be the last surface ship here to fight it out. And we simply don't have the HP to do this. And this is also going to be the end of the video. What do I think about IWAMI? Well, I think I'm a little bit annoyed that Wargaming can't tell us when they buff stuff. But I'm certain that this thing has been buffed. And after this, I would say for something that's free, if you have the resources, it's definitely a fun battleship. And if you don't mind playing tier 9, this would also be great into ranked. Don't even forget that. Ranked would be crazy with this thing. Yeah, definitely get it. My name is Pabloon, aka Pabloon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I am signing out.